everyone, RoseGoldSerpent here and welcome back to the nest. You're probably wondering what we're doing down here, and that's very simple. I wanted a dramatic introduction to what is my biggest build yet. Ta-da! I said I wanted a tower, and a tower is what I've built. Granted, it currently looks like a tall, pointy rocket, but that's because I wanted to build the foundation first before I worried about making it look good. I don't normally do large builds, and honestly I don't really have the patience for something like this, but I swear I'm really going to do my best to try and make it look all pretty and stuff. I'd like to add that this has spawned more mobs in an hour when I was building it than my mob spawner has the entire time it's been built, which is a tad frustrating. As usual with my builds, I'm going to try and do most of my material gathering off cam, so none of you have to endure hours of me chopping trees or mining stone. And with a project this large, there's bound to be quite a lot of that. I would also like to say a big thank you and welcome to my new subs. My goal for September was to reach 30 subs and now we have 35, which is amazing and also means my September goal is now to hit 40 subs instead. But thank you all very much for joining. I hope you enjoy my videos and just thank you. It's so nice to meet you all. I hope we can be friends. For the exterior of this build, I want to add wooden pillars extending out like the roots of a tree, cascading down and out into the world. I'm using dark oak to do this, mainly because there's a huge dark oak forest just behind my compound, and any forest I cut down becomes new land I can claim as my own. The process of getting them all even and equal takes some time, so I'm just going to jump ahead for you guys. Once the floor layout of the four corners was complete, I had to build up the cascading wood, going down a single block each time and making me seriously wonder if I'd accurately thought this through. Collecting the wood took up a lot more time than I'd initially thought it would, which is the problem when you decide you don't want to use planks for this part of the build. I also have this weird way of doing things where I'd rather jump up and down the wood than build it up wooden pillar by wooden pillar and keep taking full damage because I refuse to wear my elytra until I find a mending book. Once the first side was done, it looked like this. It's nothing like what was in my head, but I like it all the same. Now I just have to do it to the other three sides as well. Yay! Did I mention I'm also cascading it out the front too? Not that you can actually see it from this position because it's dark wood. And it is dark. Except I didn't like that you couldn't see it because it was dark, and chopped it all down. I needed some lighter coloured wood for contrast. I moved my things into the tower. I was tired of getting rained on. It looks like a rocket ship, which was never my intention, but for now I'm going to pretend it was deliberate. I went and grabbed my oak saplings from my chest. I should have started planting them from the start. I made some fresh bone meal at my strangely farmerless trading hall and got busy. I did a quick comparison and decided I preferred the lighter oak coming out of the front and set to altering things. Whilst I waited for trees to grow, I made a start carving out some windows to breathe a little light inside my tower. It looks a little grim as it is, and even with the inside littered with candles, I still get mob spawning here and there. Also, I'd like to sincerely thank whichever person came up with the idea of scaffolding, because honestly it is a lifesaver for big builds like this. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to decorate these windows, but I might forego any glass and instead build a room behind it that can be used to land in when I'm using my elytra. After all, I am at some point going to actually use my elytra, and I definitely need to decorate the inside of this build in some way. I'm just still figuring out, how. And here's how those windows look. I did spend some time placing just a few decorative blocks around the top of the large window whilst I waited for more trees to grow. I might need to think about getting a tree farm at this rate. I'm not the most original builder, so I mostly use slabs and stairs for decorating. I did try using some trapdoors, but they wouldn't do what I wanted them to, so I gave up and went back to the stuff I was used to. Stairs and slabs. And that's how it looks with the slabs. In order for my landing pad idea to work, I was going to need another window on the other side, so using some spare granite I had, I carved out the other windows I need, keeping these two sides symmetrical. I will likely add windows to the other two sides as well, but they may be a bit different because I don't really want it to be identical all the way around. That would be a little bit bland and plain, and I just don't want that. The more I work on this build, the more I realise what I've actually built is a very large stone and wood rocket. I spent a bit of time off screen getting the build symmetrical all around, with the exception of keeping two of the sides windowless. I decided that to give me a bit of a break from the outside, now would be a good time to put a floor in for the elytra platform. I had a decent amount of granite and polished granite laying around, so I decided I would use that. Here's a sped up and shortened 30-second clip of this process with some music too, just for you guys. I added some extra torches to deal with potential mob spawns, and voila! I had added the floor. I know I haven't added stairs or anything yet. I haven't quite figured out what I want. I'm thinking some kind of big spiral staircase right in the middle, going from the bottom and right up to the very top. I think that would look really cool, and it wouldn't interfere with the elytra platform by being slap bang in the centre. Then it was time to chop down some more trees. I figured a little balcony sort of platform would be nice, and also a little added insurance, just in case my flying skills weren't yet up to scratch and I somehow missed the gaping windows I had created. I had to rearrange my scaffolding in order to get it done, but that's only a slight inconvenience in the grand scheme of things, and of course I made sure that it was done on both sides of the build. I grabbed some fence posts to use as more external decoration. I really want most of the exterior of this build to be wood, so I'm trying to think of ways to be inventive with it. Obviously, this isn't inventive at all, but I'm looking at lots of different builds and trying to think about what I can use and how I can use it. This build is going to take a fair few episodes to get done, but I am prepared to spend as much time on it as I need in order to make it semi-impressive, and as time goes on I may do more of the detailing off cam, just to help progress and make sure that everything gets done. Here's how it looks with the fence posts added. Gotta make sure the other side matches. In order to make it a little less rocket-like, I added 4 dark oak pillars on the 4 corners near the top, as if they are supporting the top structure. It was a bit awkward because of how the build is shaped, but I'm not afraid to take a little fall damage here and there to get this done. I have just realised as I edit this that my pickaxe has Curse of Vanishing on it, so maybe I should be just a tad more careful when I'm up here. Or maybe just use a less valuable tool. Ooh, I like that. That looks good. Then I started digging up the floor with a wooden shovel. I don't know why, I just did. Despite having an abundance of polished granite, I decided I was going to use more wood to do the bottom floor. Which obviously means I need a lot more trees. Honestly, I think it looks kinda cool at night. It'll look cooler once it's properly lit up and no mobs can spawn in that little bit in the middle, but yeah. Decent. That's all for this week's episode, folks, of The Nest. I know I'm wearing a different skin, the internet wasn't playing ball and it wouldn't let me sign into my account, hence the generic lady skin. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode of The Nest. I hope you guys are enjoying this build. I'm thinking it'll probably take maybe 3 to 5 episodes total to get it 100% finished. I know this episode's a bit short. I started running out of time and really wanted to get it uploaded ready for you guys. Like, subscribe and leave a comment to let me know what you thought, and I will catch you later.